Heyo, I'm Hobbo, and I definitely didn't forget to start recording, but here I am. So this is episode 29, and this is going to be a government building, quotation marks, especially the village meeting hall / history building. And there is no lore this episode, but there will be soon-ish. I'm thinking it will probably get posted sometime next week. And I would like to do like a scheduled system for posting like lore videos, but it takes a while to set up all the buildings or villages, whatever, in order to set the tone or the correct pieces for the lore. But this will be connected to the first lore video I post, which will be coming soon. But enough on that. So the first section here, when you walk in to the government building, heavy quotation marks, will be the meeting hall. There'll be some benches set up, and there'll be, I'm thinking, one pedestal. I might do two and have just 2 librarians or historians run the building here. But I could do 2. It is a pretty large building, so I could see getting away with 2. And I'll go into in the lower video, why they've built an expensive building. Because most of the structures here are small and not super expensive. Thus far, the only official large building they have is the wheat farm. There will be a couple, well, probably just, 2 more large buildings, but that's because that will be their main export. Obviously being stone and wood, as I've mentioned before. And then this side room here, the back room, is where the villagers will sleep. And it is also where all the village history will be stored. Anything that's might be forbidden knowledge will be back here. I haven't decided if there will be forbidden knowledge in this village because I don't feel like they're a majorly important village in the history of this world. But if I do decide that, it will be stored here. And I don't think I will write any of it out yet, because I'm still considering making their language German. Just because we don't speak the same language, obviously. I know they don't sound like German. I like German language, and I think it would be nice to have like an obvious disconnect between our cultures. And obviously, all of my history will be fully documented and stored in a separate library, along with history of other villages and stuff, but it will be stored in English, in case I ever decide to make the war public, and also just for me to more easily read the stored knowledge here. Well, it won't be here, but in the future library that I build. That's where it'll be stored. I've also been tossing around an idea of having my capital be more of a, capital. Because right now, my original plan was to leave it as just my castle. And maybe like a traveling band of merchants or something right outside the city. But I've been thinking that I want to build more creative and large builds for villagers. But the problem with doing that in other villages is that most of them are not going to be well off enough to build expensive large buildings or deter from their traditions to be creative the way I would like to be creative. And considering that I don't share the same traditions as the villagers, because obviously different, I think it'd be easier to get away with building more creative and expensive buildings. More buildings that would, they're just more cost inefficient because they would be using harder to come by blocks or blocks that are just, the villagers couldn't make or get to. And I want to give the idea that my capital is well off. So, what other way to do that than, spending, in game lore would be spending more money on lavish things like various buildings. One of them being a cake bakery. So basically it would be a normal bakery, but it would be in the shape and designed after a Minecraft cake. So similar color scheme and shape, but it sells cakes, pumpkin pies, you name it. That kind of thing. Just weird builds that wouldn't fit with villages, Not to say that I won't have unique villager traditions. I already have some of that planned out for separate villages. Like there's a whole history and story arc with, I don't know story arc, but history arc with the desert villages that I will eventually get to. When I find a village, it's desert. I'm either going to find a desert village or find a large mountain not too far from a swamp biome so that I can do the swamp villagers history. Because I want that to be where I store my mending villagers eventually. As for a roof for this building, I'm still probably going to do a sloped roof, even though I feel like a flat roof would look better, just because it matches the villagers' building style for this village. And this is supposed to be like a historic building. So I feel something that, falls in theme with how their building style is done fits better than a flat roof. Even though I just feel like a flat roof would look better, maybe with some crenellations. Yeah, crenellations on top. Although you could do like a tower in one corner and then have the other half of the building be like a sloped roof. I think that'd be fine. But it doesn't match the building style of this village, so I won't do it for this building. Once I finish these walls here, which I should be pretty much done, I'm gonna start on the floors, and I'll set out little sections for pews for potential villagers that come and complain or have discussions during town meetings. I feel 3 pedestals would be nice, but it just doesn't, I don't think they need that many historians. There's just not that much history to go over here. Just feel like 3 is excessive. Especially since this village is supposed to be one of the poorer ones. I'd say if it was to be classified, it would be upper lower class or like lower middle class village. It's definitely not poor, but it's not rich by any means. Basically, I'm gonna divide this room in half. So there's two rows or columns, and 2 columns of pews. And I think just having 1 row per 3x3 is gonna work out good. Because that 2x3 just feels too small. And I want them to be more spaced out. So I want this to be a building that they spend a fair amount of money on in both resources and time constructing. I might put up murals or paintings in here as well. Not sure about that just yet. But yeah, just 4 pews. That's all I'm going to do. Don't want them to be too lavished. Inside here, I'm going to do a similar design, but it'll be out of a different material. So I'm still going to use these cobblestone slabs on the outside, but on the center, I'm going to do something else. The meeting hall is going to be using oak slabs, and then this one's going to be different because it's meant for historians only. Like a forbidden section. Since history is very important to this village, I want it to feel like it's separated from the rest of the villagers. Yeah, so there I'll do andesite slabs. I feel like that just looks better. And like I said, it would keep a nice distinction between the two types of villagers, I guess. And it looks like I'm running pretty low on materials. Well, since I'm low on resources here, I'm just going to finish up this floor in the library history storage section, and then I'm going to call it for the episode. I need scaffolding. Gonna leave the center a different block. I think it would look nice to have a little more, well, it wouldn't be color variation, but, you know, just breaking up the blocks a little more. And I'll probably cover a big section of this in carpet anyway, so it might not be seen. I don't know about that. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to andesite slabs in the center. It just looks better. Alright, well, now that the floor in the back room is done, I'm gonna call it for this episode. So, don't forget to leave a like if you liked what you saw. I'm gonna come back and see some more. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you guys next episode. Peace.